Hello and welcome back everybody to Everlasting Summer. So, we have our love triangle going on now. Alisa thinks that Semyon understands what's going on, but I guess he isn't. And also she thinks that Semyon likes her much. If I got that correctly. You know, when he said that he likes her as... he thinks that she is as good as Lena and stuff like that. I think she took that in the wrong way. On the other hand, we're on day 6, so it can't be very far from the point where Semyon also realizes that he has kind of feelings for Alisa, something like that. But we'll see about that. Alright, let's go, shall we? Yes, we read that. Sitting around hungry this early? She said playfully. Good morning, Lena said merrily. She got up and headed inside. I wonder if... What is going on now with the love triangle? Lena obviously didn't want to tell Semyon. Or, explain to Semyon. So, will she be after him in this route as well? Or is it just, Lena kind of gave up and with the whole situation? And Semyon comes together with Alisa. On the other hand, there is obviously a fight between Alisa and Lena, because Alisa apparently told Lena that Lena shouldn't go out with Semyon because he is, I don't know, a pervert, a molester, I don't know. And this has to be kind of solved, I guess. But maybe this will only be solved in the Lena route. Who knows? Read. Boy. Read. Shall we? Yeah, sure. We were not done talking, but pioneers appeared out of nowhere and flooded the place. By the time I got my breakfast, Lena was already sitting, surrounded by Miko, Zhenya, and Slavia. Sadly, there were no more free chairs at their table. How convenient. Feeling down and deliberately not saying hi to anybody, I headed to my favorite place in the corner of the canteen. I chewed my oatmeal, it was really chewy today, and washed it down with some cold tea. Then I began to watch the others. Oh, you drink cold tea in Russia? Didn't know that. All the pioneers seem to be here. Germany's not really a tea country. There are people who drink tea, including me. I love tea. I really, really love tea. But, except for me, I know like 2 persons who drink tea on a regular basis, so yeah, it's not really a thing here. Some were chatting, some, like Electronic and Shurik, were immersed in chewing, and some were gawping around, like me. I was just about to leave when Uljana jumped over to my table with a tray heaped with food. Bon appetit, she blurted. Stealing again? I asked, openly staring at her tray. A growing body requires a lot of calories. Yeah, you really should grow up a bit, I whispered. What? I didn't think she heard me. Nothing. I had it out. Leaving so soon? She yelled at my back, disheartened. I gave no answer. I should have taken the washing up stuff back in. I don't want to carry it all around all day. Besides, what am I going to do today? Nothing at all came to my mind. I was in such a mood that it seemed like someone was going to show up and invite me on a journey. Maybe Alisa. Would make sense at least. I left the camp's leader cabin and paused for a moment, then heard a voice calling out to me. Oh, Slavia, right. You exist as well. Semyon, it was Slavia. Busy? No. Can you help me? Of course. I didn't want to look for answers on a wonderful day like this. A couple dozen hours wouldn't change my situation after all. What is it? You should stop by the Cybernetics Club. I don't know why exactly. They'll tell you everything. The unfortunate inventors again. Alright. Thank you. No problem, Slavia. She gave me a nice smile and ran off. So, a journey to the enemy's lair lies ahead of me. To the lair of the evil Dr. Electronic and the diabolic Professor Shurik. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I know I always get intelligent answers by Andre in the comments, so I ask flat out, was this also Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in Russian? Thank you for the answer, man. You are the best. Like, for real, you are the best. I pushed the door firmly and entered. Semyon! Electronic said a bit ominously, glancing up from some contraption he had been poking with the screwdriver. Slavia sent me. I know. And... what? The second door opened and Hurray came in. Semyon. He greeted me in the same tone Electronic had. Well, I was last time I checked, I joked. So what do you need from me? We have an important task for you. I'm listening. The nurse came by yesterday. He stopped as if he wasn't going to continue. So? I asked carefully. So we have an important mission for you. I got that already. You are to deliver a package to her. Can't you do that yourselves? The infirmary is right over there, I said skeptically. We can't, Electronic said, surprised. What a weird couple indeed. I see. Not another heavy bag, I hope. No, nothing like that, he smiled. Alright, fine, I carefully agreed. Hold on. I don't really trust this. Is this something he isn't supposed? He probably should better not bring to the nurse or something like that. Shriek disappeared through the door and soon came back holding something wrapped in paper. Just be careful. Alright. I took the package. If the pioneers weren't passing me the key to the pearly gates, it still looked like they were at least giving me the Olympic torch. Can I go? Of course, Electronic said, threateningly. That's always good. Just be careful, Shurik pleaded. Outside I took a good look at the package. They never told me to open it, although it would make sense to go further on. I quickly walked to the square and, making sure nobody was following, slipped into the forest. I just stood there for a while, indecisive, looking at the package. I wonder, what's in it? Why is it so important for them? Why couldn't they take it themselves? I had a lot of questions. I opened the package and saw a bottle of Stolichnaya vodka. Well, so what? Pioneers bringing a bottle of vodka to the nurse. Or rather, I'm doing it for them. Happens every day. I wrapped the bottle back up and scratched my head. This isn't weird anymore. This is stupid. So stupid I couldn't think of one intelligent theory. I stood there for a while longer and thought I shouldn't let such a wonderful chance slip away. I quickly walked to the camp leader's cabin. Thank God Olga was not there. I snuck inside and began to riffle through the contents of the table drawer. Soon the vodka was in a soda bottle, while in its place was some water for the plants. This is not a wise decision, Semyon. This is not a wise decision. Happy with my clever plan? Intelligently. Wow, such an intelligent plan. Plan. I went out and skipped along the way to the infirmary. Seriously, what is so wrong about that? They almost got me into a trap. Maybe she needs that to sterilize? No, Jesus. For disinfection. You know what I mean? I hope what I just said doesn't mean the same thing in English as in German. If anyone else said, I could have managed myself. So it was absolutely nothing. I gathered all my strength and knocked on the infirmary door. Still a stupid idea. Hello, Pioneer. Hello, I have a package for you. A bottle for your armpit. I mean a package for your cabinet. What? Well, I was so euphoric I began to talk nonsense. I see. Ah, she said. Hand it over. I handed her the package. The nurse stuffed it into the desk drawer without looking. You didn't open it, did you? Of course not, I blurted out. Good boy. All right, so I'll be, Go, Pioneer. I closed the door behind me and let out a sigh. I could always pin this on the crazy inventors, and in my situation, I could really use even the most basic form of stress relief. Yeah, that is also what I always do when I'm trapped in a parallel universe with two wonderful ladies fighting over me. I start to drink heavily. I came to the square. The clock showed noon. That meant dinner was coming. I sat on the bench with the solid intention of not moving from here until the come and get it bell. Still not a bell, sound comes. Pioneers were running by. They were smiling and shouting merrily. Yes, the day was definitely a wonderful one. I glanced over the square and saw Lena approaching. Relaxing? Something like that. She sat by me and looked at the sky. Nice day, huh? It is. It was a bit awkward. Lena seemed different. She was not embarrassed. Her face was not red. She was confident. So, about that conversation. I told you everything already. Yeah, but... just forget it. If you say so. We sat for a little longer in silence. I just can't. Not like that. What? So, did he just refuse Lena? Did I get that correctly? Or what did this I can't mean? So what do you think about Elisa? Ah, okay, I can't accept that you... Okay, that we don't talk about it. This is what this meant. Okay. She said, ignoring my inquiry. What do I think about Elisa? I repeated, lost in thought. I don't really know. Why? You're just so worried about yesterday. Well, of course. But what does have this to do with it? Yeah, Jesus. There's a direct connection there. She laughed. Let's assume. So what? Well, she... And again, I started thinking. Really, what do I think of her? Well, she can be arrogant sometimes. That is right. What else can I say? Now that I think of it, I don't know Elisa at all. The way she acts does annoy me sometimes. Aha! I thought we were over that, but okay, apparently we're not. If you were wondering if I had any negative feelings about her, then no. Aha! I mean, she gets carried away, but everyone has their quirks. I think Semyon doesn't know himself what he's thinking. That is the main problem here. Lena stared at me. Really? Did I say something wrong? No, not really. She laughed out loud one more time, just before the lunch bell song came. Alright, see you. I didn't stop her, although I had a lot of questions left. But how do I ask them? And should I? I got up and slowly shuffled to the canteen. There were only few spots left, so I had to sit with Electronic and Shurik. Yay! Wiener party. Did you little... Jesus, today is again my anti-reading day. Yeah, I answered lazily, poking my fork at the buckwheat kasha. No incidents? No incidents. What was in there anyway? You didn't open it, did you? He stared. No. Great. Finishing my meal, I went out. I was struck by a sudden yawn. Taking a nap wouldn't be a bad idea. I headed to the camp leader's cabin, where probably Olga awaits him with a bottle in his hand. Or maybe Olga drank it. That would be awesome. I felt like the summer sun was going to melt with the whole planet, together with all its inhabitants. There was nowhere to hide. The sunlight seemed to reflect from every surface. Looking up, you risked going blind. Using my last bit of strength, I pulled the door handle, entered the room, and fell onto the bed. Of course, I wouldn't expect the cabin to be really cool, but it was much better than outside. Blissfully, I stretched out on the bed and closed my eyes. Strangely, sleep deserted me. I was overwhelmed with thoughts, teeming in my head. Here's another theory, a solution to the problem of how I got here. Here's an explanation of what's going on here. And here's the true form of all those inhabitants in this place. I remembered Lena saying, "What do you think about Elisa?" Seriously, what do I think of her? What can I think of a person I've only known for a few days? This is a good point. This is a good point. Can I just draw a conclusion based on a couple of words and deeds? Although her deeds... I laughed a bit. Any relevant organization would draw the right conclusion based on the monument bombing. Still, though, I don't care. Maybe I really don't think anything of her. Can one be interested in a person who's not interesting? Well, why is she not interesting? No, that's some sort of absurdity. A knock on the door. Come in. I was too lazy to get up, so I just sat up a little. Ah, the door opened and I saw Elisa. What a coincidence. She stopped, unsure, and stared at me for a couple of seconds. I guess you were looking for the camp leader? Why would she, though? No. What's up, then? I was looking for you. She sounded calm and not aggressive at all. I caught myself, thinking I was not afraid of her, and had no concerns when she behaved like that. Normally. What for? I want to make everything clear. That would be helpful, lady. Semyon is a little bit slow. I mean, I'm a little bit slow, but Semyon is really slow. She sat on the bed across from me. What exactly? I want to clean up any misunderstandings or miscommunications. Alright, I'm up for that. Have you spoken with Lena today? Yes. About what? Nothing really. You're lying. Elisa looked stiff and worried. She crossed her legs and bit her lip. You do understand I'm always assumed to be guilty whenever anything happens. Yeah? Yeah, I see that. Well, you always are guilty. No, she's probably not. I said thoughtlessly. A spark flashed in her eyes, but she kept talking calmly. Maybe. But in this case, me and Lena, we're always like that. Even if she starts something, she's all innocent, and I take all the blame. I see where you're coming from at this point, actually. You know the story of the kid and the wolf and stuff, you know? On the other, I mean, I give Elisa a lot of shit. And to be honest, she deserves a lot of shit. Because, you know, they are in this world are 17 and stuff like that. I mean, does she need to behave all that like this childish, like this over-aggressively, but then sometimes she's nice and then she's aggressive again? This is so middle school, you know? I mean, in Germany we don't have middle school, but for lack of a better term, 7th grade, 8th grade, you know? This is kind of ridiculous, and also a gigantic anime stereotype. On the other hand, in the real world, if you are the one who is usually to blame, you will get always the blame. Especially if you have someone innocent like Lena, or who at least seems innocent. And as mentioned, I think Lena is not as innocent as you would think. And I think she is kind of a dick in this situation. But this is just, I can't base that, this is just what I guess will happen. So you're saying that Lena... Actually, I don't really know what you're saying. You never understand anything, do you? She fumed. This is strange. I wouldn't call myself slow, but you are, my friend, you are. So explain. You do know Lena likes you. She went red after those words. No. I answered truthfully. Motherfucker. Well, now you do. Now I do. An uncomfortable silence overtook the room. I was processing what she said, and Elisa seemed unsure of how to continue the conversation. Lena likes me. Could I ever have guessed? Yeah. Unlikely. No. My intuition is usually good, but when it's about me and my feelings, it does not work at all. Yeah. The weirdest thing was I accepted the news with almost no worries. Right at the moment I was listening to Elisa, I was focused only on her. I could think about about the rest later. And she thinks I'm gonna steal you away from her. She thinks that all the time, understand? Even though it's always the other way around. Everyone looks at her cause she's such an angel, and nobody pays any attention to me. To them, I'm just a shoulder to cry on. I wouldn't cry on your shoulder. Ah, I'm so mean. I'm so mean. Elisa started screaming. Oh Jesus, look, Please don't get upset. I don't think of you like that. Of course. I still had no idea what forced her to be so honest, and I didn't know how to react. Moreover, I was not worried at all. It was like I was watching another episode of some TV series, and what was going on in the room was on the other side of the screen. I understand I was the reason for all of it, but today Lena said it was okay. That's just like her. You've probably realized that she's not as quiet as she wants to seem. Yeah, that's true. I had started to guess. If I can do anything. Tell me. Elisa raised her eyes. Only then did I see she's been crying. Some sort of worry stirred inside of me. I could not treat this conversation like I was an outsider anymore. Do you like Lena, or do you like me? I guess I should have expected a question like that, but I just wasn't ready. Just like that, Lena's nice, of course. But Elisa has her good points as well. Besides, the way she was at the moment, she could seriously compete with Elena. I don't really know you two at all. A question like that, it's difficult to answer directly. If I could say no, I would have at that very moment. But I only had one chance for the other answer as well. And I didn't know what to choose. You did want the situation to resolve itself. Of course, but... Why but again? Why again? Why? Look, we're going nowhere with this. Well, answers then. Her face fell back into its usual bold arrogance. Kind of unrealistic mood swings she has. I need time to think. Well, go ahead and think. Elisa stood up abruptly and headed out. Don't forget, we have plans for tonight, she said on the threshold. Okay, smiling. The door closed behind her before I could say anything. Plans? What kind of plans? Did you already forget? The talk with Elisa left a heavy impression on me. So, Lena likes me. On its own, the news could shock and startle. And I, above that, was also forced to make a choice. A difficult one, to put it mildly. And any choice I make would be a mistake for someone. If only I could refuse them both. Although I didn't like the word refuse itself. I mean, you can. Nobody said you can't. If I could just answer her question with a no, it would be easier. But I knew it couldn't work like that. After I talked to Elisa, I realized nothing would ever be the same again. It can't be, no matter what happens. And I'll have to make a decision. Since I rejected the no scenery, I needed to pick a positive solution. If, of course, I could live with it. But I was sure that out of all the possible outcomes, there's one that won't just satisfy everyone, but would also be the one that I would want to strive for. And this choice seems obvious. Lena. But, she's pretty, she's cute, she's kind. But then again, there was something about Elisa that attracted me. Suddenly, the door flew open, and Olga came in. Lounging around again, huh? Just resting. It's so hot out there. Go and help Slavia. She was asking around. Well, I asked lazily. On the sports field. Reluctantly, I got up and headed out. I should really air my brain out anyway. There were a lot of people at the sports grounds. Some were playing football, others were playing badminton. Younger kids were just chasing each other. Semyon! Slavia walked up to me. You require my assistance? I asked, all official-like. Yeah. Listen, did you take the infirmary key? No. Why me again, anyway? Well, you were there a lot recently. I guess she's right. No. Maybe you know who did? No. Why? The nurse came up to me and asked for the key. You know that I have a key to every building in the camp. She said hers went missing. Could she have lost it? I shrugged. No, she says she couldn't have. I don't know. Okay? Okay. She smiled and ran off. I headed to the camp leader's house, determined to get some sleep after all. Oh, this is after cleaning, but okay. Olga wasn't there, thank God, so I fell on the bed and lost consciousness. I don't exactly remember what I dreamt of, but it left a heavy impression, as afternoon naps often do. That's true. I dream the most ridiculous things when I take a nap in the afternoon. I put some effort into getting off the bed and look at the clock. It was just after 7. Not surprising if you think about it. I should have expected to sleep through the day. Although, as it turns out, I missed dinner as well. That thought made me uncomfortable, and I headed to the exit. I stopped on the threshold and thought of what to do next. I don't know how long I would have stood here. My head was still heavy after sleep, if someone hadn't called out to me. Slavia was quickly walking towards the cabin. Semyon? She started, breathless. Are you sure you don't have the infirmary key? Of course not. Why would I need it? Well, do you know who took it? No, I don't. Why? Well, something has gone missing. What? Something important. Slavia hesitated. Some medication. So all this disturbance was started because of some medicine. Probably vodka medicine. Although, I pondered. I mean, I have the bottle in my cabin. Did she mean that? I tried to keep my face still as stone, without doing anything to give myself away. Okay. I don't know, I'm sorry. Okay, Slavia said in frustration. I looked at her and tried to figure out how bad the situation was for me, or whether I was in trouble at all. On the one hand, the vodka, I did steal it. Then again, she's saying it's gone, as it disappeared, all by itself, with no external influence. Although it's highly unlikely that she would say a bottle of trophy vodka was stolen from the infirmary. So the way it was said was okay. The problem was different. I suddenly got scared. What if they find out that was me? Even if it wasn't about the bottle, they would still find it while looking for what was gone. Basically, I had to get a move on. And the main thing to do right now was to get rid of all the evidence. Smart boy. I mean, you shouldn't have taken it in the first place, but at least now you're acting reasonable. I jumped into the cabin, shoved the bottle under my belt and raced to the forest. Burying it somewhere was the best decision at the moment. You don't need to bury it, are you stupid? Just put it in the woods. Who the hell knows that you put it in the woods? Like, when you bury it, that takes forever. Somebody will come. I swear. I took my time looking for a spot, never noticing night falling on the camp. A familiar voice surprised me. Hey, of course. I struggled to turn back, throw it into the forest, making my face look as casual as possible. So, what's going on here? Oh, I'm just having a walk. My voice sounded calm, but I already understood. I couldn't fool Elisa. Alone? At night? In the woods? Well, yeah. What's wrong? Nothing. Nothing at all. She stared at me. Okay, then I'll... Hold on. Aren't you forgetting something? Don't think so. We had an agreement. About tonight. I think she is right. There was something like that. Yeah, but you see... No, I don't. Let's go. She turned around and gestured me to follow. I thought there was no point in arguing. Any word or action could give me away. And then... Sighing, I followed. Man! Why do you take it with you? Are you stupid? It was a couple of minutes before we reached her cabin. While we were walking, I was busy trying to find the best time and place to ditch the vodka, but Elisa stayed so close that I couldn't manage anything. Man, even if you tell her, the only problem I see is, if she knows about the vodka, she won't tell anybody. On the other hand, there is, of course, the problem that she will probably want to drink it or something. Well, she stared at me. Well, what? I was so nervous that my hair was wet with sweat. The only thing on my mind at that moment was how to adjust the bottle so she would notice. What do you say? About what? Elisa pondered. Okay, I guess you're right. I brought you here, so I'm the one to decide. Okay. I agreed, unsure. Hold on a minute. She reached under the bed, and in a few seconds... Oh, that is what happened. Of course. Of course. Pulled out the bottle of Stolichnaya, Jesus, vodka. I was shocked. Surprised, huh? Of course. Not by the vodka itself, though, but by the fact that it was the exact bottle I carried to the infirmary in the morning. The murky contents gave it away. So, Elisa looked at me teasingly. What? Wanna take a shot? I didn't even know what to say. What she had was just rotten water. The real vodka was in the bottle under my belt. I don't know how that works, by the way, but okay. Well, I kind of. Don't tell me you don't drink, Elisa pouted. I don't know. No, I just... Alright then, just a second. In just an instant, Elisa got 2 glasses and filled them to the brim. Let's do this, she said, giving me one of the glasses and downed hers before I could answer. Ugh, she gasped. In a moment she realized. What on earth is that? She started spitting. They call this vodka? Despite my difficulty, I couldn't help laughing. What are you laughing at? Elisa shouted, red in the face. I'm asking you, what's so funny? It actually is funny. It actually is. So you're having fun? Drink yours. Well, see how you laughed then. I had no desire to try the stale water, but just to avoid making her suspicious, I asked, "So how does it taste?" "Like rotten water," Elisa said, upset. "I was just going to relax a bit, have a cultured time out, and then it..." A cultured time out. I repeated as a new bout of laughter bent me in half. "Hey, stop it!" Elisa shouted and jumped at me. She was trying to hit me or bite me or something. Maybe her plan was to crash me to death with her authority. I just grabbed her hands and all she could do was gasp in powerless anger. All was going fine, but then Elisa's legs slid and she began to fall. What a coincidence. I let go of her hands, so she fell right on top of me, painfully headbutting me in the nose. I moaned in pain, threw her off and turned to the side. "What do we have in here?" When I realized she had taken the bottle, all the pain disappeared. "Give that back." Jesus, she would think it is water if you don't tell her. You're so stupid, Semyon. I tried to get the bottle back, but Lisa nimbly jumped off the bed and ran onto the far corner of the room. "Let's see, huh?" She immediately removed the cap and took a big gulp. Jesus. In a moment, her face went red and her eyes seemed to pop out of their sockets. What is this?" she rasped while coming back to her senses. "That is the actual vodka." I seemed to have come to terms with my defeat. "But where did you get it?" "You really thought you had stolen the right one from the infirmary?" She nodded. "Well, it was the right bottle, but the contents, Man, you're clever." She was already starting to slur her words. "From one big gulp?" Jesus. I mean, okay, maybe she's not drinking that often. But still, that's a bit much, isn't it? Elisa came to the window, poured the water out of my glass and replaced it with the vodka. "Come on." "I don't want it." "Really, this is not the right time or place." "Drink it, or else I'll tell everyone you stole the bottle." "But it was you." "Well, you have the vodka." "You can't prove that." "You think I even have to?" Elisa said maliciously. Unsure what to do, I stared at the glass. What's important is to get rid of vodka. This was just one of the ways to do it. Yeah, okay. I breathed out abruptly and swallowed the contents of the glass in one quick motion. A short moment after, I regretted that. "Got any food to chase this?" "Wait a second," Elisa said excitedly and pulled a huge stick of ham out of the drawer. I tore it from her hands and bit off a big piece. "Phew! So, how was it?" "You're asking. It's not like I have a full-strength booze every day, you know." I didn't really understand how I'd agreed to this so easily. "Well, how was it?" Like double bubble with vodka flour." "Alright, time for another round then." She opened the bottle again and poured us half a glass each. Don't you think that is enough?" "No way." "Well, since we've already started. That is how alcoholism starts, kids." The alcohol was starting its work. Without a second thought, I gulped down the vodka. Elisa was definitely less experienced. She was having trouble with her second glass. How does it..." She seemed really drunk already. "Also, it doesn't work that fast with the alcohol in your blood cycle. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen," I said merrily, pouring myself some more. Somewhere deep inside I realized it was too much, but the gun was already loaded. "How about me?" Elisa was outraged. "Haven't you had enough?" "No way." She grabbed the bottle from my hand and started to drink straight from it. "Hey, we have glasses, you know." "Screw him," she shouted and roared in laughter. "This is so cool," she said, catching her breath. "Sure, it's not bad." I looked at the bottle. We'd gone through 2/3. Jesus. I was definitely drunk by that point, and Elisa seemed even worse. Then again, there was barely anything left. I sighed and poured a full glass for myself and a half for Elisa. "That's all." With these words, she chucked the bottle from the window. "What if they find it?" "Oh, who cares?" We both laughed. Yeah, that is how drunken people work. "Okay then, for all ladies present," I grunted and drank. "And for all the gentlemen." She followed my lead. "I'm getting dizzy." She undid a few buttons on her shirt. Yeah, what a cliffhanger. No better point to stop. So, actually, we all know the H scene is probably about to come. So, why do we not do this in the next episode? So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next part if you want to see sexy times. I don't know. Anyway, I will censor it anyway. And who really, who want to see something attractive while another dude is talking over it, you know? So if you came for that, you're probably wrong, but I don't think you came for that. So, again, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next part, and I'll see you then. Bye bye!